Welcome back to Create Like a Chingona. This is my second YouTube video, and I already had some technical difficulties. And that is because I showed you guys how I worked this image, and I went back and the audio is not working. Ha ha ha. We will do another one of these tutorials on my illustrations and placement. For this, I am making a promotion. I have an event this weekend. I am attending a self-love revolution, and it's been a while. I haven't been to events in over a year, but I wanted to do a promotion for my graphic design services. That is anything from illustration to branding, logos, etc. So I wanted to make something memorable that they would want to take home with them. And I wanted to do something a little bit different than my typical loteria cards that I have. So what other loteria card other than La Más Chingona? And it's going to be 8.5 by 11, a typical sheet of paper, keeping it cost effective for them to, excuse me. I'm keeping it cost effective for them to take and want to keep, but also on the back, it has all my information. And I wanted to add some of my memorable quotes. So just as they are on there, you can see it, and you have a little chingona here. And I think she's looking really cute. I am going to go in and fix a couple stuff. This is kind of what happens. You make something and like, oops, that does not look good. So I'm messing around a little bit with the smoothness of here by selecting my direct selection tool and hitting like the smooth button and smoothing this out just a little bit more. So it's just start to get meticulous at first. You won't, but I'm going to show you guys the back. So placing text, how I do that. First of all, I love ChatGPT. I asked it, what do you think I should have? And it gave me a couple of suggestions. So I just copied and pasted everything over. As you can see here, I have it all pasted over. I'm just going to make it an easy text to read for now. So like they recommended, let's make your brand a chingona. And I'm not sure how I feel about that yet, but we're going to roll with it right now and do that as my main title. So I like to break text down individually. When you have it like this, it can be a little overwhelming. So let's start with the title. Very first title is Let's Make Your Brand a Chingona. And that will be the big title. I am going to make it the same font that we used on here to keep it all unified. That is Bratzy. I am going to up it up, make it probably the biggest possible since this is my title, and start placing it up there, kind of moving stuff around, probably two lines. And as you can see here, it says, let's make your brand a chingona. It's looking pretty good as far as a couple things here. There is the space in between letters. As you can see, if I go up here, it's called tracking. Tracking is out, kerning is in, and the tracking is the button here on the right. And as you can see, if I go to negatives, it's really making it really condensed. If I go up to 200, it's like super separated, and we don't want that. This is a cursive font, so I usually like to stick to 0. Then we have like kerning in between letters. This is that option, which we could definitely work around here, but sometimes I just like to work at it as a vector. It's easier for me. So if I go to type, create outline, and I hit object ungroup, then I can kind of now move these, not kind of, you can move these individually. So you can see they're their own thing. I'm gonna hit Command Z, just hit it back where it's at. And I'm gonna move things around this way and kind of line them up so they look like they're like in like actual cursive, they attach together. And then this is looking pretty good. I don't know if I like the way make is hitting that way. So I'm literally holding and dragging all these three and keeping those together and moving it up just a little bit. This is looking pretty good, except for the way this R kind of doesn't quite align there. So I'm going to move it down so it kind of, there's not some weirdness. We can see what it was before. And then O's, we kind of always move those in. And then I'm going to group these together and just move it like a little bit. And that's using my arrow keys. So now we can start to group these by words, group, make, group. We have let's, group. And then brands is looking pretty good. The B and the R is kind of looking a little, so I'm going to move it over with my arrow. But now it does that. So let's see. I guess I'll do, yeah. Maybe this D a little bit more. Sometimes you can play around with it to see how you feel. I'm going to group these together. Object group. And then Chigona, the seed looks a little bit too separate, so I'm going to move it over a little bit, like a slight arrow over. Everything else is looking pretty good, except for this weird exclamation. I think I'm just going to separate it out, move this A in, and then move this in a little bit more. Give this that. And then I'm going to hold these. This basically, I'm grouping together everything that I think is fine. I just want to move it together to the right. Kind of see a little bit more what that looks like. I'm going to group these two together, and I'm not going to, or sorry, all three of these together, kind of by line. So now they're grouped by line. So grouping the first line and grouping the second line. And now it moves this, well, Command Z. I hit too many. So if I move this around, you can see that this moves by itself. Maybe I want to draw more emphasis on branch A Chingona. So I'm going to make this bigger and hit Shift. Okay, move this up. So if we hit our align button, it'll align it center, align center. I don't like that much space. I'm going to bring it down. So perfect. Let's make your brand A Chingona. So I'm going to group those together. The easiest way to draw a little bit more emphasis on something is to make a copy of it and copy paste or edit copy paste. And then the background can be like a white and it kind of creates this like shadow. And then you bring the black one on top and you slightly have it come off of it to create this depth feeling to it. So that's perfect. So I'm going to group that and then I'm going to bring it down. So that's kind of like the eye-catchy title. Next it says, let's make your brand. Okay, we already did that. So I'm going to delete that. Done with. Custom designs for your business and events. Short, clear description of who you are and what. Okay, so maybe this is just like a sub line heading, which I like Bebas. Paste that. Bebas Kai. And this one does require like extra tracking. So I usually do pretty high, like a 50. Oh, you have to select the text. So 50 or so. And maybe we'll make this white. I don't know if the white looks, nope, going back to black. Black it is. Okay. So I don't like the way it kind of fits at the bottom of this. So maybe we can fit it in here like this. Maybe a little bit lower. Just kind of play around with it to see where it kind of can fit in different spots. Maybe we could, I have a copy of this to take elements off of it. Object and group. So maybe take one of these stars and then I want it to actually be pink. So I'm going to take the eyedropper and just grab it from one of these. Just to add a little bit more of inviteness. You know, like you can already tell, like from what you see down here, it's a little bit more inviting. But yeah, custom designs for your business. Okay. So I'm going to delete this. That's gone. Short, clear description of who you are. Example, my name. I am Viviana, also Latina owned. Size design studio that specializes in custom multimedia card and branding merch for a designer. So I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste that. And it looks like it took off the I'm. And then I'm thinking that we should do like a headshot. So I'm going to go to File, Cancel, and keep hitting Save because we saved a lot here. File, Place. Worst thing you want to do is for it to crash in the middle. I'm going to look for a headshot. I have one of my headshots here. My headshots. Let's do this one. Place. I'm going to do embed. And then I'm going to do a circle. So it's just a basic circle. And then this is the clipping mask option. So I'm going to place it kind of where I want it to be, cover it, and I'm going to select both objects and then go to Object, Clipping Mask, Make. And there we go. That's me. I'll give it a little bit more space around. So I do want what my shirt says to say. So I'm going to hit Shift. And I did this. I was able to edit it by double clicking in there and it'll activate just the photo. Okay, I think that looks good. So then I'm going to Shift, drag down to bring it into my document here. I don't want it too big. This is about okay. So it's going to be like this. And then maybe just like a little box that goes paragraph align left. So we go to paragraph, I'm going to hit align left. And then I'm going to grab my selection tool to bring in the box in more. So it is just a little box. It's not like a lot of information. And then I'm going to bring up the tracking to about 25 letter, about like 21, 22, usually like 2 to 3 points. Visually see if that's easy to read or not. So as you can see, we have this. I think what I want to do to add a little bit more fun is I'm selecting my color box here. And then that way it activates the color for my swatches, but I'm going to grab the square here and create a square box to have in the back. So I'm going to drag that down a little bit so I can grab the text box, object array, and bring to the front. And we have this cool little box that adds a little bit more emphasis. Now we're creating some fun stuff here. Already looking much more inviting than what we had before. And then it says short clear description of who you are, what we offer. So taking that out because this was just what AI told me. Merch entrepreneurs, we got that. Need a unique design that represents you. Let's create magic. Okay, service list. So maybe let's create magic. I do like that. Or you take it one step. Let's create magia. Yes. Okay. And I like that it already activated this Brad C script. So, whoops. I am going to go back and copy Let's Create Magic. Oops, that's not doing it. Okay, let's just delete that. We're going to make a new box. Type paste. Okay, it's still not doing it. Sometimes I go back and make sure you're selecting the right things. Or, yeah, let's Create Magic. Command copy. And then if you hit paste, it should, nope. Well, we have to be out of the box. Let's create another text box and hit paste. I don't want to do it. Infinity, I think there's just a lot going on here. So we're selecting just this part, activating another box. We're just gonna have to write it out. Let's create magic or magia. with an exclamation mark, and we're going to make that the other font. So basically the subheading fonts are the Bratz C font, Bratz C script demo font is what I call it, what it's called. And then we'll put that there. I'm going to make it bigger. It's like a subtitle. And I'm going to type create outlines to kind of take a look at. You can see there's this awkward spacing, so I'm going to bring this in. And you can ungroup it, or you can double click how I'm doing, which is just doing it within so it still stays grouped. But you got to keep hitting double click. Okay, there we go. That's looking good. C and R, not liking that. That looks good. Now there's a little extra space in between this, so we have to double click. It is going to activate that one, but then you're going to drag down and select these two and then slide it over. And yeah, this exclamation mark. Let's move it up just slightly. I and the A, I'm going to bring it in a little bit more. Let's create Mahia. And then I'm going to bring Mahia in just a little bit more. It is not, it's too far away. Okay, perfect. So let's create Magia. I've been in Austria, the creator of Chicana Inc., a Latino design studio that specializes in custom luxury cars, branding, and merch for badass entrepreneurs. I just stepped into some Spanglish Latina accent. Okay, just kind of messing around with that. Sometimes the text, depending on like letter, like a smaller word text, like of is 2 letters, you may bring it down. That way it looks better. Okay. All right. So now we're going to take that part of our text because we already got that. Then we're going to get a service list, bullet points for easy reading. So it has emojis because it was taken from AI. I'm going to remove service list because we don't really need to tell it's a service list. We just need this actual text, which hopefully it'll be nice and let us copy it, but I'm removing all emojis. Okay. So I just want this text for the next part. Move this out of the way. Create another text box. Paste. Nope. It is still not letting me copy this. The other option is to make a copy of this and then remove everything out. There. And remove anything above it. And once again, I want it to be a line left in a paragraph. Then we just have to figure out spacing here. And I already know right away that for my bullet points, those little dots, I'm going to have them be these that I created over here. And so we definitely need more space on this list of bullet points. So maybe we're going to do more spacing, line spacing, leading, that's what it's called, like way more. So visually, I think that's about right. We also need to add more tracking, so like a 25. And that is our bullet points. But I also want to add a box to this. Let me bring some emphasis to it. So let's do that about there. And then bring it up because I kind of don't want it to be too big. And then I'm going to grab the text, object arrange, bring to the front. This one, since it's not a heading, I usually do want to keep it relatively editable so I won't create outlines on it. So we have this here. And then object arrange, bring that to the front. Maybe shift to make it smaller. I'm going to copy paste, make some duplicates here. Another one. And I like that it kind of already aligns for us. Okay, perfect. So we already have that going. Still trying to figure out the spacing here. Maybe I will group this all together. Not that. I'll leave that alone. So maybe bring the box up so we don't get so much of that. But like this, which is all together, I'm going to group that. And then I'm going to line center. Yeah, there we go. And then be careful not to grab anything else. But we want to definitely group these these bulleted items with the background pink box. And then let's bring it up a little bit more and then center it. So maybe I'd want to possibly, we'll see how it looks, bring this box by double clicking and just selecting the box and make it like as big as this. So it kind of lines up together. And then we could even line this up to the edge of this other box. So we want the whole thing. Nope, not that much. So we're double clicking once. There we go. You can see it does it there. Perfect. So sometimes it's just like moving stuff around so that they kind of visually line up and create this cohesiveness. It takes some time to realize this stuff. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't know how to do that. Even it took me a while to even get comfortable with text. Okay, what's next? Okay, so we got the bullet points done. Call to action. Let's chat. Scan the code to see my work. Okay, so I think we could keep all this as our box now since it's like the end of it. This part will make fly super small. I am going to get a QR code for my website, which I have Adobe Express that I use to create my QR code, but there's probably a lot of other free websites or other things you do. But if you have the whole suite, Adobe Express has generate your QR code. And now I have to get to my website. This is viridianaosio.com, or not Viridiana, viridianadesigns.com. And paste that in there. Download. So you can download, it'll give you, I'm going to hit cancel for now. You can download it, it'll give you like a PNG, which is there in the background, or you can go to file format and get a CFG, which is an equivalent to let me put portfolio QR code, which is equivalent to a file that is vectorized. So if we go to desktop and I look for portfolio, I can open it with AI. And I mean, the PNG would work too, but you always want vectors. They're just better. So command copy and go back to my promo here. I have too many things open. Paste. We don't want it that big, but we do want it big enough where you can QR code it. Okay, so let's chat. Scan the QR code to see my artwork. DM me on Instagram. Perfect. This is the one thing about AI that like ChatGPT, which is what I use. There's a lot of different programs, but I use ChatGPT. It starts getting to know you and your things, so it'll easily have it ready for you. QR direct link to portfolio. Okay, we want that. As a must, you can see Explore website, portfolio website. You could also, I'm going to put a QR, but I'm also going to put my website on there. And then it said a special offer. Mention the card to get $5 off. Calendly link if you offer free consultation. I do offer free consultations, so maybe I could do that too. Okay, social proof, small client logo or testimonial, but powerful. No, we're going to keep it simple, not too much. And no, okay, so we're going to delete everything else at the bottom. So let's chat, scan the QR code to see my work, and book a project. DM me on the Instagram. DM me on Instagram. Visit my website. I'm going to Put mine in there. Insert link. I'm going to take the HTTPs off because we don't need them. It must have social security scan your work instantly and special offer. Trying to think of a special offer. Maybe I'll do. I'm going to delete all this. Where website? Okay, so we already have that. So let's see. Special offer. Mention this card for 10% off. 10% off. Because most of the stuff that I'll be booking here are bigger stuff. So $5 wouldn't be much. $5 is $5. Okay, so special offer to mention, calendar link if you offer free consultations. So I'm trying to figure out how to visually, and my light just went out. I'm trying to see how to visually put this together. Sometimes you have to play around with it a little bit. So let's chat, scan me card to see my art, see my work, and book a project. So scan to maybe we definitely want to make let's chat bigger. So I'm going to keep that bigger than everything else, add a little bit more tracking to get more emphasis. You can already see that's like already like, okay, you can start to see it a little bit more. Scan QR code to see my artwork. Let's take this and paste that. Nope. What I do is just make a copy of this and then remove what we don't want so far. Because I feel like I want to have scan QR code to see my work above the QR code. So I'm going to remove this. DM me on Instagram. I think all this needs a lot of tracking. So 50 maybe. Okay, perfect. So let's chat. DM me on Instagram. Visit my website. The special offer. Keep that separately. It's just kind of breaking everything down individually. And then I'm going to make this smaller, like maybe a 14. And then I'm going to bring it way down to the very bottom. And let's chat. What else am I missing? Okay, so this is the QR code. Maybe this way. And let's scan the QR code to see my work. So this will be a lot smaller. We're going to add a little bit more tracking and maybe make this a 14 and bring this over here. And I'm going to break it into 2 lines. It's kind of a long line. Move it over. And then maybe we'll do a tag create outlines for this one. Scan the QR to see, and I'm going to add a little box to get a little bit of emphasis. It is grouped together. So I'm just going to double click in there so I can just grab the box. And I don't want to actually paste it. Command Z. Yeah, I want to paste it after I get out of the ungrouping, because if not, it'll paste it within the grouping. So I just want to make a copy of this and make it smaller. Object, arrange, bring to the front this text so that we can kind of see visually. Maybe make it as big as the QR code. It's looking good. Maybe hit a little shift down. Give it a little space to breathe. When I feel like it's like going to break out of there. So shift down. And then now I'm going to grab these 2 objects and I hit my align buttons to center them straight center of each other. And then I'm going to group that and then break this up. Scan the QR to see my work. Okay, let's chat. Special offer. Think of what else. Oh, I wanted to do the Calendly link because I think that's genius. So I have Calendly. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I do a book your 30 minutes, and it's a free consultation. So we're going to do a brand new one of these. Oh, got it. So QR generator code. We're going to hit paste, download, and then I'm going to hit cancel because I want it to be file format, STB, download, and then we want it to be Calendly booking. Desktop. Okay, so now we're going to open this fantasies and drop it into Illustrator. Okay. I don't know why I asked you that. Okay, we're going to hit command paste, command, go back to my promo paste, shift to bring it down. And I want to make it the same exact size, which if I zoom in, it's not quite there. A little bit more. There we go. Perfect. So I move this way, and move this, make a copy of that, and see if it'll line up. Yeah, it's lining up now. You can tell it's lining up because like that little line goes through, but you can double check it by even going to view ruler, show rulers, and bringing down a ruler and putting it right underneath the other one just to make sure that they are the same, which it wasn't. So we're going to bring it down more visually. And then another ruler for the top of this. And see if that one lines up there. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to change this out. On the text box. And we're going to say book a free consultation. Make sure everything's spelled right. That would be the worst. Book a free consultation. We don't want the leading to be that much. Maybe about there. Center it. Put it up there. See how it's looking. Book a free consultation. I think looks good. Type, create outlines. We're going to once again group these together. Well, not group them yet, but select each one, the box and the book a free consultation, and then we're going to align them center to each other and then group them. And then we're going to zoom in and make sure that's lined up to that line. And that's lined up. Then we can even go another step by selecting the QR code and selecting this box and aligning them. Okay, perfect. So I think that is looking pretty good. A little more inviting. I'm going to take a couple sparkles. Actually, I'll take a sparkle from up here because that's the color I'm going to use for this side of the page. Maybe add some here. Book one here. Not book one. Book it right here. And put some down here. And then I'm just going to add my logo down there. And I can grab it over here by double selecting until I'm able to get it because it's in a group. And I don't want to paste it yet, actually. Command Z. I want to copy it, grab it, and then get out of the grouping. You can see that the color changes because then it will paste it back into that grouping and then it'll move everything together. That's not what we want. It takes time to learn that. Okay, so we're going to center this. I think this is looking pretty good. Let's see, do we want to add more here to add a little bit more of a thing? Okay, let's make your brand at Chingona, custom designs for your business events. Let's create magia. I think I want to break this up a little bit more, give it some breathing room. And if you know, so the create Chingona, let's know. Design too that specializes in custom video cards, branding, and merch for badass entrepreneurs. Custom video cards. custom decals for business families events, branding logos for entrepreneur, custom merch line sticks, and more. Let's chat. DM me on Instagram, visit my website. A special offer, mention this card for 10% off, which you're not required to give any discount. But I think that is looking good. So this is the front of the Loteria card. I think I'm going to grab a copy of this. It looks like it's lost in the unlock. And I'm going to command copy paste and move this to the other one and put it in the back. I don't want it to be a white background. Object arranged to the back. I love it, guys. Tell me what you think. I'm now going to save this as a PDF and print it. And check out my social media. I'll be sharing it there once it's ready to go. But I'm excited. Actually, before I go, I'm going to show you what it looks like. I saved a PDF and I'm throwing it into preview. And as you can see, it is looking gorgeous. I might just do an outline around the back of the Loteria and add more emphasis. But I think this is looking gorgeous. Let's make your brand a chingona. I mean, honestly, the best way to test this is to print it and visually see it. You can already even like check on here your QR codes just to make sure that they're working right, because you don't want to print a bunch of them and then realize like, wait a second, that is not going to where it's supposed to go. And you just wasted money. So I'm checking all of them to make sure that they all go to the correct places. And then I recommend doing a test print. I may outline just this as well. I like to outline like a little bit more emphasis or bring a shadow on it. But I think other than that, it's looking great. So thank you once again for joining me today. Create like a chingona, subscribe if you want to see more content, like, comment, share, and see you next time. Hasta luego.